A friend I met at a hip hop concert in Boulder recommended the TV show Pachinko. I finished the show in one weekend. I also recently got a systems thinking certificate from MIT for work. Here's what I learned from both. Pachinko follows Sonja, a young Korean woman who immigrates to Japan during the Japanese occupation of Korea between 1910 and 1945. The story unfolds across 3 generations of her family living in Japan. It's a phenomenal show, and apparently, the author spent 7 years in research to ensure historical accuracy. Pachinko was highly engaging, yet a painful, shocking, and uncomfortable watch for me. As a Korean American living in the States alone in 2026, I think I would be considered the 4th or 5th generation if we were using the show's timeline. To me, most of Korea's history has felt so distant because I didn't have to go through their suffering to be who I am today. However, I found myself not only in every Korean character, but also in characters from other generations, genders, and races. I believe this is because, regardless of our backgrounds, we share the same human experience in different contexts. For a long time, as an American-born Korean, I subconsciously thought that assimilating to American culture meant only showcasing the parts of me that were familiar to the majority. However, now I'm realizing this effort never mattered. In the show, you witness the oppression Koreans faced under Japanese rule for their differences. And then, as time passes, all 3 generations fall in love with a Japanese person through shared similarities. And the show concludes that no matter how hard the 3 generations try, they are never fully accepted into mainstream Japanese society, nor do they consider Korea home. Pachinko is a Japanese gambling machine that operates with silver balls inserted at the top of the machine. Gravity takes over as the ball bounces left and right between the tightly arranged nailed boards. The player wins when the ball arrives in a specific slot. Pachinko is viewed as a game of chance, but later the show reveals the operation, which ironically is owned by the 2nd generation Korean son, who manually adjusts the angles of the nails to prevent his customers from winning as much as possible. It is interesting to see that the Korean family who experienced repeated failures with the system, manipulating it back to their Japanese customers. It just shows that exploitation is merely a pattern that can be applied anywhere at any scale by anyone. The pachinko analogy also closely mirrors what the Korean immigrant family goes through in Japan, where they wait for their big break but are constantly jostled, only to be disappointed again and again. It seems that the world the family lives in is designed to keep them playing with no intended breakthrough. Like pachinko, the store owners don't want you to win, but they need you to stay inside to keep their operation running. Because at the top, someone is benefiting from your loss. In the certificate course, I learned that every system is created to achieve a goal. Looking at large corporations and even my 9-to-5 work, I believe that all the moving parts within the capitalist regime are designed to generate profit, not necessarily to promote human well-being. Even the recognition and rewards for the employees' hard work and the pizza parties are meant to return them to work in good spirits and keep the machine running. There was a project management simulation exercise where I got to decide on the number of employees, the timelines for different project phases, and whether to accept or decline new feature requests from stakeholders. Of course, the project with the largest margin at the end was considered successful and earned a bonus. What surprised me most was that the project managers could adjust and control both the pressure applied to employees and the quality of their work. Immediately, I understood that I was merely a number, used as fuel to advance their agenda. I felt small and menial, seeing myself as a number on the other end of the screen, because in my world, I was always so serious about doing my best work. However, I also felt eerily powerful because their plan could not run without me. Without the silver ball, the game cannot go on. A system is a relationship between two or more entities. I think inevitably, humans are systemic beings. We cannot exist without it because we form our understanding of the world through interaction with other entities, whether that be our own subconscious, another person, an object, or anything else you can think of. While the framework can help us see that the mainstream world is finely tuned and managed beyond what meets the eye, it can also help us reframe what is within our control. A family, a community, and even your gym clothes and equipment are all systems. We are constantly seeking to strengthen our identity or role in different contexts. I can live mindlessly in a world designed to consume me, or live consciously and build my own world that gives me purpose and meaning. I crashed out a few days after finishing the show, feeling helpless in a world that isn't designed for my well-being as its number one priority. I think the only way for humans to feel agency is to create, regardless of who you are in the world. It can be anything, like a piece of writing, playing an instrument, graffiti, planting a garden, or biscuits. You make something for yourself and let the new system arrange itself around it. Because at the end of the day, aren't we all just made of milk, flour, and butter?